It was supposed to be a normal Sunday lunch at my mother-in-law's house. My wife, Emily, had been chatting with her mom all week about how excited she was to see everyone. I thought it was going to be a relaxing afternoon, good food, family stories, and maybe a nap afterward. But the second we walked into that dining room, I knew something was off. Sitting there at the table, grinning like he belonged, was Ryan, Emily's ex-boyfriend. My heart didn't race, and I didn't feel anger right away. Instead, I just stared for a moment, processing the scene. Emily's mother smiled like nothing was wrong and said, "Oh, I hope you don't mind, dear, I invited Ryan. It's been so long since he's seen Emily." My wife froze, her fork halfway to her mouth, and gave me a nervous glance. I forced a smile and nodded politely, but inside, questions were already forming. Throughout the meal, I noticed little things. Ryan would laugh at Emily's jokes a bit too loudly, his hand would graze hers when passing dishes, and she would blush and look away. I told myself not to overreact. Maybe it was just awkwardness from their past. But when I excused myself to get another drink, I overheard them in the kitchen whispering, their voices low but intimate. I didn't catch everything, but I heard him say, "I missed this. I missed you." I returned to the table, my smile still plastered on my face. Emily avoided eye contact, and Ryan acted like nothing had happened. My mother-in-law, meanwhile, seemed to be enjoying the show, as if she had orchestrated the whole thing. That was when the first spark of suspicion started to turn into fire. I wasn't just dealing with an awkward lunch, something deeper was going on. Halfway through dessert, Emily excused herself to check on the coffee. Ryan got up just 30 seconds later, muttering something about needing to wash his hands. I didn't follow right away. I counted to 60, then quietly got up and made my way down the hallway. The kitchen was empty, but I could hear muffled voices coming from the guest room. I stood there, listening. Ryan's voice was low, and Emily's tone was softer than I'd heard all day. Then came the sound I didn't want to believe, a quiet, unmistakable kiss. My heart sank, but my mind stayed strangely calm. That was my moment of clarity. I had been disrespected in my own family, in the middle of a gathering, and I wasn't going to make a scene. I was going to make a statement. I walked back to the table, sat down, and waited. A few minutes later, they returned, both slightly flushed, trying to act normal. I smiled at them, the kind of smile that hides the truth. I stood up, clinked my glass, and said, "I want to thank everyone for coming today. It's been eye-opening." My voice was steady, and I made sure to look directly at Emily and Ryan. The room went quiet. My mother-in-law's smile faltered, sensing something was wrong. I continued, "I think it's important to be honest with family, especially when certain old connections are still alive and well." Emily's eyes widened, and Ryan shifted uncomfortably. I didn't need to say more. I simply set my napkin down, picked up my jacket, and left. On the drive home, I didn't call Emily or answer her frantic texts. She eventually caught up to me at our house, tears in her eyes, trying to explain. She claimed it was just a mistake, and that she didn't know her mother would invite him. But her stammering told me everything I needed to know. I had seen enough to connect the dots. This wasn't their first private moment. The days that followed were cold and quiet. I moved into the guest room and started gathering evidence. Messages, calls, little details she thought I wouldn't notice. The more I looked, the more I found. Late-night texts from Ryan, deleted call logs, and even receipts from a hotel 2 weeks ago when she claimed she was working late. When I confronted her again, I didn't yell. I laid everything out in front of her, proof that her affair had been going on for months. She crumbled, apologizing, begging me to forgive her. But the betrayal was too deep, and the fact that it happened right in front of me, at a family lunch, made it worse. I filed for divorce that week. I didn't make a public scene, but word spread quickly among our family and friends. People started asking Emily uncomfortable questions, and even her mother stopped calling me after a while. I stayed polite but distant, letting her deal with the fallout she had created. Looking back, I realized my calm reaction at that lunch was the best decision I could have made. Explosions fade, but a quiet exit leaves a longer shadow. Emily and Ryan ended up together for a short time after the divorce, but it didn't last. And me? I walked away with my dignity intact, and the knowledge that I never have to sit through another one of those family lunches again.